But what's our quarterback situation looking like Ring and Rado?
Is there a more specific question? Are they healthy? You're wanting to know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think Rado continues to be available. He's a warrior. He's suffering through his shoulder issues, but he makes it through these games. Obviously, Julio's fit. Alex is probably going to be questionable for tomorrow at best. He had what he had against Kansas City, and there was something there, so we have to be mindful of that. But the guys that will be ready to play, Kip will be available for us. So I think we have a good understanding of what the game's going to look like. It's Dallas. It's going to be a competitive game. The center backs, regardless of who starts, I think we have some options there available.
Are the two games this week, would you consider them must-win games?
Dallas is a game we want to win. There's no doubt about it. Copa Tejas, a direct rival, in-state rival. 17 games left, but we gotta be very emphatic and understand the next game is the most important game and a big performance. But getting 3 points is critical at home.
The impact of the Heat, hour later start.
Yeah, I think that's obviously much appreciated. I think in everyone's eyes, it's always warm here. I think you take those things into consideration, but we train in it. We have a feel for it. I think both Dallas and Houston are comfortable in this space, but it's challenging, and we try to minimize our exposure. But I think it's healthy for the fans, it's healthy for the players, and we want to do anything we can to obviously keep that in mind as well.
Do you think this is a good time for your team?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question, and yeah, I don't disagree with it. It's the rivalry has grown with both of these teams over our short existence. I think you certainly think of what Jesus Ferreira did last game in front of our fans in our stadium, and that's how you start to see a rivalry take life. And we won a game last year that was quite important to us, and obviously they have felt that as well. And this year they won a game at home at our house, and they took pride in winning that. And our guys are mindful about that. I've talked to them about it already. So having a good layer of intensity and combativeness is important, but you also got to be able to play football.
Halfway through the MLS regular season, what gives you confidence that you guys are kind of set to turn things around?
Well, I think we have a group that's getting healthier, which is helpful. We've had to deal with a lot of injuries over the course of the season. We need to make some additions going into the summer transfer window, and that also may mean subtractions. But we've got a good group of players when they're healthy and when we're functioning in a good space, and that's executing well, having good discipline inside the game and understanding what's needed. We're more than capable of performing and getting results. So going forward, having more consistency in our lineup, our roster, and certainly that adds to continuity. So those are the biggest things going forward. But this next game is a very important game. There's no doubt about it.
On that note, is this any kind of set, or how do you approach this momentum into the second?
Well, I think it's about capturing momentum is now in the moment of how you can execute, perform, and grab the results. And momentum will only be felt as you validate that as a group and you win games and take points. So we've talked about it enough. It's not about talking; it's about going out and doing it. And it's a great opportunity against a good opponent. As I've said, there's plenty of storylines around it. It's Copa Tejas, it's in-state rivalry. They're above us in the standings, and we know we need to start making up some ground.
What do we need to be aware of Dallas and Houston in the next 2 games?
I think they're two different opponents, but Dallas has a extremely good transition game. They have good speed, good verticality, as they've shown in the games that we played against them. I think against Houston, they're a very disciplined team defensively. They do a good job of preventing and not giving up a lot of goals. So we got to be mindful of both those things. But right now, the focus is on Dallas. I think it's for us having good clarity of how we can go about hurting them, and obviously we got to understand what they're good at and try to take those things away from them.
How beneficial 10 days off mentally?
I think breaks like that give guys opportunity to get away, get with their family. We gave them 2-3 days to do that, and it brings back a fresher group. The intensity last week was quite good. We had a 4-day week, and then we were off on Sunday, and we were in Monday. So, again, I think the intensity when they came back was good. The execution, the ideas of what we now need to get better at going forward is in their head. And again, I think it's showing the discipline inside the game. It's showing the execution inside the game. I think there's plenty of opportunities at both ends of the park that we just got to be much, much cleaner. And we have that in us. We've seen that. We know it's there. But you have to do it when it counts most. And said this before, you don't get to pick and choose which plays are the plays that decide games. So you have to treat every single play in the same manner with the full respect. And those are things that we got to key in on. Yeah, he's okay. His ankle, he's been in training the last couple of days. So we'll make a decision today as far as who's available for the 20, knowing that we got a quick turnaround on Saturday. But it is good to have most of our guys getting back to a decent place physically. Yeah.
Seems to take as anything that has helped accelerate that process.
I think there's a lot of things that help young players. One, it's the mentality of the player and his qualities. I think last year he demonstrated at a young age that he was capable of coming in, executing in real games. Started a great deal of games for us. His ability to come in this year ready to perform. I thought him and Pepe through the first 7, 8, 9 games were our best performers. They were our most consistent. Leo and I think Owen's development over last year and coming in this year, he has a bit more confidence. He's gotten stronger. I think he has more understanding of when we're playing 1-6 and 10. So growth, development, maturity is grown, but there's still plenty to do. He's a young man, still learning and still evolving as a footballer. But I think his future is bright, as is Pepe, as is Kamanic. Our young guys, I think, have had a good accelerated development and want to continue to see that. They need to continue to play and perform. They have to be open to the growth and learning.
The rumor that he's leaving, he's going to be leaving soon to PSV. What is that?
Who's leaving?
Owen.
Where'd you get that rumor? I'm always curious where you get information.
Is that true or not?
I don't think there's a lot going on right now for our players in that sense of transfer, but we'll always entertain the idea of our players, right situation for the player and the club. I think we're all open to how our league has shown that. We look after the players. We got to do what's best for them and obviously for the club as well.
What do you think of Danny's performance in Venezuela, and did he come back to us in one piece?
I think he's certainly available for the game tomorrow. He's got a new haircut. I think it looks a little like he ran away with a swimmer's cap on, but he's done. He did a good job. I thought both games were pretty solid. 45 minutes against Honduras, 60 against Guatemala, and again, I think he's a young player now that's been introduced to the national team, and I think his development here has helped provide him that opportunity. But for him going forward, it's continuing to develop both sides of the ball, being impactful at both ends of the field. And when you're in with your national team, you're right away cast in with some extremely good players. They have Ricon, they have Herrera. These are big time players in the middle of the field for them. And I think he's more than capable of being that type of player, and we need him to continue to shine for us. And the future will be for him to determine. But we're glad that he's back, and he will certainly be available in the next 2 games.
He's worried about their hunters coming back to the U.S. national team.
I read the news just like you guys did. I'm probably just as excited as you guys are. I wanted you guys to give me something. No, I think it's great. I think it's great for Greg. I think he's the best choice, the best candidate. What he was able to do over the course of 4 years is clear. I think what you build from the starting point of what the lead up to a World Cup is and what that World Cup can be like. They showed great development. They showed growth. They showed courage. Obviously, the recruitment of players, and now it's how does it evolve? And with anything, you can't stand still. You got to continue to want to get better. And he's in a great position with a very talented pool of players, and I expect a lot of the same of what we saw in 3 years. Yes, and championships.
Really good weekend, right? Full sorting stretch for the year.
Yeah, no, I think obviously BJ Callahan. When I was there, he was the interim, obviously as Greg or as U.S. Soccer was deciding who was the coach, and it's a very talented group, and take credit as well for playing against 2 of the best teams in our region, and for me it was a clear example of where we are, and it was dominance. And Mexican getting the game against Mexico was physically dominating, tactically dominating, emotionally dominating, and that's a little bit of a throwback. And I thought the guys handled that really, really well. And against Canada, there's an athleticism and speed on both sides of the game, but managing the game, being impactful in both ends of the field. I thought US was quite solid, and that's what I look forward to seeing how that continues to grow as probably most fans.
Actually, I spoke to a couple players of Mazatlan, and they believe Austin is the strongest of the group. How do you feel?
We appreciate their support. We look forward to the game against them in the coming weeks, but we'll start preparing for them as you had one.
Yeah,
Go
there's
for
so
it.
many U.S. national team players out of contract or looking for new homes. Some of them have been here in Austin
Yeah.
before, trained in our facility.
Yeah.
Any of them possibly coming our way this transfer window?
I think I think there's a lot of things that are attractive about Austin. I think certainly the infrastructure that these players have seen, the stadium, the fans, the way we play, is a big part of why not just domestic players but international players enjoy the idea of coming to Austin. So we are open. We know we need to make additions in the summer window. We probably didn't do as much as we needed in the off season, so we've got to continue to do that now in the summer, and certainly keep in mind what the winter looks like. And the list of players that may be available, I think we're always keen to that. But we're like all other teams. You got to continue to want to get better, make improvements inside the group, and prepare your team not only for this year but for the years to come.
Else?
Super.